Is Zelda Tears of the Kingdom worth playing? Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan. This is over at Zelda Ate My Lunch. I wanted to talk about this today because I have put quite a few hours into the Tears of the Kingdom over the since it came out, and I gotta say, it's kind of like a refined Breath of the Wild. I can't really say that it's any better or worse, and I have not really gotten into the story at all, but I will tell you this, that it's been a lot of fun finding the shrines, because while there is a ton of shrines like there was in Breath of the Wild, they did them so much better this time. I like the puzzle system. Yeah, once in a while you do have to fight something here and there, but by and large, it's just been a lot more fun just figuring out the puzzles, finding the shrines, finding all the towers, finding the different stories behind the towers, finding out how to get the towers activated in some cases. Hope that's not too much of a spoiler. I don't think it is. And, general things like that. But as far as actually getting into the story, it kind of reminds me of Nintendo, in the fact that Nintendo is such a corporation now. Now, they're not a very big corporation, but they pride themselves on not having anybody be more special than the other person, that they let the game that they make speak for itself. But in doing so, it kind of loses its personality. And I feel like this game kind of has a lack of personality. Everything is very kind of generic. Like when I think of Horizon Zero Dawn, like the original one. I haven't played the new one, but it reminds me of that first game. That game, every storyline in the game was like flawless. It was flawless. Everything had character, everything had story behind it, everything had like a reason for it being there. Everything had just it was such a perfect game. I think it was Persona 5 and Horizon Zero Dawn came out the same year. That might have been a little bit different than Breath of the Wild. I could be wrong. They were all kind of in that 2017, 18, 19 range, somewhere in that region. And, Persona 5 had so much character to it, and all the stories were just absolutely amazing. And same with Breath of the Wild. Like, it did have, like, a really good, like, finally a Zelda with like a storyline to it. Now, I could be corrected because I haven't really gotten too much into the story, but I have found that when I do finally have to interact with somebody within the world of Tears of the Kingdom, I'm like, or like when those Kurex or whatever, the seed guys want you to help them, find my friend or whatever. I'm like, you can figure it out yourself, right? It's just not gripping to me. I have no real reason to do this. And it's just another thing is, like, I really don't have much reason to fight any of these bad guys, if you want to call them that, in this game, because there's no experience points. I really wish that Zelda would do something with that. They never do anything with the experience points. I think in Zelda 2, it's been a really long time since I played that. I think that one kind of had an experience point type situation going on. But if you didn't have to, like, all right, so for example, like if the shrines was how you got your stamina and experience points was how you got your new hearts, I think that would be a way better system. 100% way better system. Now, I know getting the shrines and getting the stamina and the hearts is a good, kind of a good way of doing it, but can you imagine a Zelda world where you had to actually fight this thing? It actually had some implications to the story. You had to go after these, all these monsters and everything like that were just taking over the world, because it had a reason to do so. But you really don't have that at all. So if they had an experience point type thing, and maybe they do, and because I haven't fought any of the I don't know what they're calling now, dungeon type things. I haven't gotten to that far. I kind of wanted to get all the shrines out of the way and then really start living the story. But if they had an experience point type situation where that's where you got your hearts from, and you went to the shrines, and however much stamina that you wanted to, or there was another thing, or maybe you got I don't know, like armor or something out of these things, something like that, and that was for that, and then fighting these things was for experience points. I think that would be 100% better game. 100% better game. But the way it is now is just kind of like, why, I don't know. There's probably 128 shrines like there was in Breath of the Wild. And it's just, why? like 50 might be, 50 would be great. You get all the stamina that you could possibly think of. You got to fight all these things, on the outside, and you have real reasons for doing this, and you can create armors out of this, and you can do this, and you can do that. That would be a great way of doing it. But the way they have it set up right now is just, I mean, it sounds ridiculous because I've got so many hours into the game, but I think to myself the whole time, it's just so average. It's just so average. It's a better mechanical version of Breath of the Wild, but the storyline is just so vanilla. It's just so vanilla. It's kind of like The Last of Us. The Last of Us, the first one was absolutely amazing. Storyline was damn near flawless. And then Last of Us 2, I didn't even bother playing that. I could tell from the thing that they were just trying to, political nonsense, and it's trying to tell, the woke culture, and I didn't want anything to do with it. And it was so, vanilla. Again, and I'm so tired of these sequels just being like this. But anyway, that's really what I wanted to talk about. Maybe somebody at Nintendo will see this and get like an idea from it. But like, can you imagine if actually having experience points from actually fighting these things for once in a Zelda game? There's so many role-playing games, Japanese role-playing game. I know Square Enix was really is really irritated by the Japanese role-playing game title. But can you imagine if that existed? How much more fun it would be in these Zeldas. I mean, you would have a real reason to go around and actually, help these people out and clear these things out. But as it stands right now, it's just, why bother? Anyway, that's my video. This is what I wanted to talk about now. I know I've sounded kind of negative about Tears of the Kingdom. I just feel like they've missed the mark on quite a few things. And it's irritating, especially for the new price point. Now, I don't think they're going to be doing a lot of this price point going forward for all of the games, because I certainly would buy a whole lot less games if they. I know it's only $10, but a lot of the games as they stand right now aren't even worth the $60, so I don't even buy them. So if they were $70, I certainly wouldn't buy them. Anyway. That's the video. Comments, questions down below. I really want to hear your thoughts on this. Like, have you played the game maybe a lot more than I have, and the story gets amazing? But from what I've seen so far, it's just so I can't even be bothered. But maybe that's just me. Anyway, comments, questions down below. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next video.